July 8, 2022, Nara, Japan. A former prime minister campaigns under a blazing summer sun. Suddenly, the calm is shattered by gunfire. In an instant, the peaceful crowd descends into chaos. Shinzo Abe, Japan's political giant, collapses to the ground. A nation known for peace is thrust into turmoil. But this wasn't a terrorist plot or a global conspiracy. It was a motive no one saw coming. A lone man, a homemade gun, and a shadowy church with deep ties to Japan's politics. Who was Abe? Why did a fringe religious group put him in the sights of an assassin? And what secrets did his death unleash? History is full of moments like this. Strange, tragic, unforgettable. Like and subscribe if you want to hear more stories like this one. Chapter 1. The Rise to Power, Shinzo Abe's Story. Shinzo Abe was Japan's political rock star. He was born into a political dynasty. His grandfather was a prime minister, his father a top diplomat. From the start, he was destined for power. He first led Japan from 2006 to 7, then returned from 2012 to 20, making him the country's longest-serving prime minister. His Abenomics plan jolted the economy, boosting stocks and jobs. He pushed for a stronger military to counter China's rise, landing Japan a bigger global spotlight. The 2020 Olympics? His crowning achievement. But Abe wasn't everyone's hero. Critics called him a nationalist, too tied to Japan's elite. Polls showed just 30% backed his military reforms. So how did this titan become a target? Chapter 2. The Broken Man. Tetsuya Yamagami's Descent. Tetsuya Yamagami didn't fit the profile of a killer. A 41-year-old former Navy sailor. No criminal record, no radical manifesto. On the outside, quiet and unremarkable. But underneath, his life was falling apart. Why? His mother's obsession with the Unification Church, a South Korean sect infamous for bizarre rituals and ruthless fundraising. She poured nearly $1 million, 100 million yen, into the church's coffers, draining the family's savings. The fallout was devastating. Yamagami's brother, overwhelmed by the financial ruin, passed away tragically. His sister spiraled into poverty. Yamagami himself bounced between dead-end jobs, living in a cramped apartment, his resentment simmering. He wasn't angry at Abe's politics. His rage was personal. The connection to Abe? It's stranger than fiction and will leave you stunned. Chapter 3. The Motive. A religious group's role in political power. The Unification Church, sometimes called the Moonies, is a large religious organization with significant influence and a history of controversy. Founded by Sun Myung Moon in 1954, the church became famous for its mass weddings. Thousands of strangers, married on the spot, matches dictated by the church. And it wasn't just about faith. The church raked in billions through aggressive donations, often accused of coercion. Its influence stretches far, cozying up to US politicians like Nixon and Reagan in the 80s. In Japan, it's woven into the fabric of the Liberal Democratic Party, Abe's political juggernaut. Abe wasn't a member, but he spoke at their events, praising their family values and boosting their clout. The church funneled millions in donations to LDP campaigns, with over 100 lawmakers attending their events. To Yamagami, this made Abe the face of the group that shattered his family. Consumed by rage, he didn't want political change. He wanted payback. For months, he prepared in secret, constructing a homemade weapon using basic materials. He tested it privately, avoiding detection. His mission? A chilling act of revenge that would shake Japan to its core. Chapter 4. The Day of the Attack. It was a routine campaign stop in Nara. Abe, no longer prime minister but still a kingmaker, backed an LDP candidate. Japan's near-zero gun crime meant light security. Yamagami, after weeks of tracking Abe's speeches, walked up calmly, his homemade gun hidden in a simple bag. At 11:30 a.m., he raised it and fired. The first shot missed, but the second struck Abe, Screams erupted as the crowd scattered. Doctors battled for hours. But by 5 p.m., Abe was gone. Yamagami didn't run. He waited to get arrested. The event sent shockwaves through a society built on order and security. Chapter 5. The Aftermath. Grief, Scandal, Legacy. Abe's death sent shockwaves across Japan. Thousands mourned at the site, leaving flowers and origami cranes. World leaders, from Biden to Modi, paid tribute. But grief quickly gave way to scandal. Protests erupted across Japan. How did security fail so badly? Why were so many politicians tied to the Moonies? The police chief resigned. Prime Minister Kishida promised reforms. And through it all, one question lingered. How would history remember Shinzo Abe? Some called him a visionary who revived Japan's economy and global presence. Others saw a nationalist whose ties to a shadowy church tainted his legacy. In the end, his assassination didn't just end a life. It forced Japan to confront the uncomfortable truths beneath its calm surface.